Loch Ness, Scotland, December 2018. On a blustery winter afternoon, military historian Ricky Phillips is walking his dogs along the misty shoreline of Loch Ness when he spots a strange disturbance in the murky waters.
I was walking along the line of the River Oich. The River Oich runs down into Loch Ness. It's absolutely lovely. And I went and I stopped and I took a photograph over it. So I was sort of one eye on the phone, one eye on the dog. There was a strange noise. My dogs went crazy. As I looked down, there was something in the photograph.
The grainy image appears to show a sinuous figure rising from the dark gray waters of the loch. It's unclear what type of animal the photograph reveals. But many researchers analyzing the photo believe it could be the latest evidence that confirms the existence of an infamous creature from lore and legend that is known as the Loch Ness Monster.
The Loch Ness Monster, or Nessie, is without a doubt the most famous or iconic monster that has been reported around the world. Stories go back decades. There have been thousands of eyewitness accounts. We have compelling photographic evidence. So it certainly has built a strong reputation in the world of fabulous monsters and creatures.
The first recorded sighting of what's now known as the Loch Ness Monster was in 565 AD. St. Columba, who was a Christian missionary from Ireland, he came up Loch Ness and he told the story of how he'd seen the creature and he'd beaten it back by using the power of the cross.
Through the years, there have been hundreds of sightings. For example, on July 15, 1965, 9 eyewitnesses observed the animal moving around for up to an hour. This involved a veteran Loch Ness investigator, as well as a local police sergeant and the local county surveyor, and 6 other eyewitnesses. And what they all described was identical from different vantage points around the loch.
I've seen a large unidentified object. I've fished here since I was quite a young boy, and I've never seen anything like it. It came right out of the water in front of me.
It must have been, it's difficult to say, but I would say 25 to 30 feet, and at the highest point, about 5 to 6 feet out of the water.
Since that mass sighting in 1965, researchers, scientists, and even ordinary people have journeyed to Loch Ness in search of the famed monster.
In 2021, we had 6 sightings by people who were actually beside the loch, and we had another 10 that came from the Loch Ness webcam. The really important thing here is that the Loch Ness Monster and images of the Loch Ness Monster are not just grainy old black and white film. People are still seeing things and recording them today.
Could there really be a monster living in the waters of Loch Ness? Many researchers believe it's possible. And as evidence, they point to recent sonar scans, which reveal something enormous moving beneath the waters of the loch.
The best evidence we've ever had from Loch Ness was a sonar contact taken by Ronald Mackenzie, who operates a boat called the Spirit of Loch Ness. And 3 years ago, they got a sonar contact, crystal clear sonar contact, about 600 feet down, and it's there. You know, it wasn't there an hour earlier when he went past it on the boat. It wasn't there an hour later. It was there, then it wasn't. It's one solid object, the size of a transit van. Photographic experts came back and said that is probably an animate object.
If it's true that there's something moving deep within the waters of Loch Ness, then what could it be? Over the years, researchers have put forward many theories, from shape-shifting spirits known as Kelpie found in Scottish folklore, to a giant mutated eel, to a surviving prehistoric snake known as the basilosaur. But perhaps what's most fascinating about the legend of the Loch Ness Monster is that there are reports of similar creatures all over the world.
The lake monster phenomenon is not just relegated to Loch Ness. There are, in fact, similar lake monsters that have been reported around the world. Something known as the lake monster belt. which is lines of latitude between 40 to 60 degrees north in the northern hemisphere. And if you plot these across a map of the world, you'll find the famous lake monsters all fall within these same lines of latitude. That is very compelling evidence.
What we're finding is these different lakes are very similar. Many of them are very long, relatively narrow. You have Champ of Lake Champlain, the Ogopogo monster of Okanagan Lake in British Columbia. You have the Lake Bronzno creature of Russia. So it's led researchers to believe that maybe there's something with that latitude that has the perfect conditions for such lake monsters to exist.